Okay, welcome back to Happy Chappy. So, this has been caught up in the world. We have been brought into a world that shows us that we want, that we need things outside of who we are. Now, just take a moment and think, what is it that you really need? What is it that your body needs? So you need food, water, right? We can grow that off the ground, for example. Um, what else did you need? Maybe you need a companion. Then that's not necessarily needed. That's more of a want at the same time. So, but a possibility. And so we have other people around us for that. And so everything, and even another person, what you find outside of you, other than food and water, maybe a roof over your head, but anything else, what you're looking for is a want rather than a need. As you're wanting for something so you can feel a certain way. But if you look at everything that you get when you go out into the world, whether it be an item or somebody into your life in conversation, everything is to give you a feeling. And so you would think about it, what is happening, and then you would feel in a certain way. And all that you've done is put yourself out in motion and brought these feelings about in where you went to. But say there was nothing out there, like desert. You were just in the desert. You had your water, you had your food, you had your home. But there was nothing but desert. How would you feel? How would you think? And from my first conclusion, from seeing nothing, you would start thinking you were lonely because you would know of having a lot of things around you. And so you would feel lost. But would you be? Or would you be more you? As a person who likes to meditate, I've found when you come to nothing, you gain everything. You gain freedom from it all. You're not trapped. And so I would find a person would come to this state of this way of thinking as long as they could overpower themselves in their way of thinking so they could feel right about it. Because if they let the way of thinking of loss get to them, it will eat them up and it will eat them alive. And they will struggle. But that will come from a way of thinking. Now, all you have to do is look around you. Everything puts you into a way of thinking about something. And you feel a certain way about that. But you're probably not conscious of how you're feeling and how you're thinking, you're just doing because it becomes repetition, especially in a home. Or if you're with a family, you probably have a routine and things that you do. And so you do them, but you're probably unconscious of how you're feeling when you're doing them because you're so used to doing them. And so when you get them taken away from you, you don't understand why you're feeling. Well, you understand, but in a sense, you don't understand why you're feeling this loss. Because you were never aware of your feelings. You were more aware of the happenings rather than the feelings that went along with the happenings. And so now the happenings aren't happening, then you feel lost that you need to move to create these happenings. But it's been how you were thinking and creating a feeling about the happenings that was making you feel so good in who you were. And now that it's all gone, you're not able to think in that way, to feel in that way. You're looking at the happenings as they're gone, so the thinking and feeling's gone. Well, it wasn't the happenings that was creating the thinking and feeling. It was you that was creating the thinking and feeling about the happenings. And so when you look at it this way, you can see that, well, you just need to think, to feel, and to think about the right things in the right way. You will feel you will feel in it in the right way. And so you create with your mind scenes in the unseen, which is what you do every day anyway. You see, before you could see, all it was light. And until you put that light into a picture, a scene, then you were able to visualize things, to be in your physical reality. But until you were able to do that, all you heard was vibrations. You didn't know what people spoke. You couldn't see people. All you seen was light, which vibrated at different vibrations depending on what was around you. But all you seen was light. And then until you were able to create a scene in your mind where you were thinking about the vibration, then you weren't able to see anything. But as soon as you created them scenes in your mind by how you felt towards that vibration, then you could see a reality, a physical reality. And so it came to be that you were able to see objects, people, things, the creation of the conscious mind. And so when you have nothing, you have everything. So if we take that in reverse and we go back to the light, there's nothing but light. But we have everything in that light. It's just a vibration that we need to consciously be aware of and put into creation of what we want it to be. so we can see in that light. Remember, all that we have comes from within us. From the first day you came onto the earth, you started to learn about vibration and seeing it as the light. But you forgot. You forgot because you started putting it into pictures, scenes. And then this became so familiar that it was all that you did. And then you would feel towards these scenes, forgetting about the creator that you are, that creates these scenes through the vibration and the light that you be. This happy chappy, love and peace.